What's up, YouTube? Back with another video today. Today we'll be looking at Hell Is Us. I don't know if I watched it before. Maybe I did, but you know what I'm saying. And shout out to all the people that pushed my video from Friday to 250. You know what I'm saying. The goal is for me is to hit at least 20 subscribers. I know it's small, but you got to start small to get big. You feel me? So shout out to y'all. Shout out to all the people that only watch it for 30 seconds to a minute. I mean, it really do make me mad, but I still appreciate you clicking on the video and give me some support. Like, it means a lot to me. Let's get into the video though. Let's see how good it's gonna be.
Hi everyone, my name is Jonathan Jacques Belatet. I'm the creative director and the art director on Hell Is Us. I hope you enjoyed the trailer that you've seen recently. Today we're back in the spotlight. We're gonna show you a bit of gameplay, a bit more than what you've seen in the trailer, and I hope that you will enjoy this part greatly. All right, so let's start with the basics.
I never watched this before.
Hell Is Us is set to be released in 2025.
Got me taco from
it's
Taco
for pretty
Bell.
much everything, so Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and PC. So the game is a bit of a take back to games from the 1990s. We're a team of passionate people. The average on the team is like 20 years of development experience. So we're from a different generations and we have a lot of love for how the games in the 90s were made and how they were played and experienced, especially the fact that
This kind of remind me of Red Dead, the way it looks like. Hopefully it's a good trailer. I never seen the original. I might have looked at that trailer too.
there was no hand holding, there was no silver plattering. You kind of had to figure stuff out by yourself. You were really in control of your exploration and your own discoveries. And this is what we're trying to do in Hell Is Us. Obviously with modern flair and kind of like modern knowledge of game design and whatnot, but very much puts you back in the driver's seat of your experience and of your exploration and the result and the joy of your discoveries. So Hell Is Us takes place in a country called Haiti. Haiti is in the grips of a vicious civil war. You play the role of Remy. Remy is actually from Haiti. He was born there, but his mom smuggled him out at the age of 5, like it sometimes happens in those countries. And what I mean by that is Haiti is a hermit state, is a turtle state. It's completely closed off on itself. Nobody goes out. Nobody comes in, and that's why Remy's mom decided to smuggle him out so he can have a better life. He grew up in the foster home system or the foster system in Canada. He's always wanted to come back to Haiti. He wants to find his parents again. He wants to kind of like confront them. He's got a lot of questions for them. He understands why they abandoned him, but yet, abandonment is pretty much the biggest trauma that a child can have. And there's like a loop that hasn't been closed properly for him towards this situation and his parents. When the game starts, Remy
You know what? I don't know if it's supposed to be a scary game or action game. My first time looking at it. And here I talk about it. Obviously looking for your family. That's like his biggest goal. And they go back to his home country, but I guess the home country probably really messed up. Hopefully, he do find his parents in time. At least one of them.
Has finally been able to infiltrate Haiti during the brutal civil war that I was talking about. Remy is a ON peacekeeper. He quit his post, he went AWOL, infiltrated the country, and this is where the game starts. Remy remembers 2 things, and that means the players remember 2 things. It's that his village of birth was called Jova, and his father was the blacksmith of Jova. Those are the only clues you begin the game with, and these are the only clues that Remy also knows. So equipped with this knowledge, with these clues, you begin the game and you try to find your way to Jova.
You must be lost to wander around Sinedra Forest. I'm afraid I have very little.
Can't put no hot sauce in here. For real.
A group of strange-looking soldiers arrived here last night in an APC. And perhaps you can ask them for help. It's not the first time I've seen them. They always seem to be snooping around here for something. They parked their APC just beyond the woods, to the north.
To the north.
Follow the wind chime.
Game of Thrones right there.
They will lead the way through. The gate to enter the woods is locked. Here, take this key to unlock it.
Okay, so let's talk about this design philosophy that I've mentioned earlier, which is, I said the word silver plattering is something that I had been thinking about for quite a few years, and the team as well, which is if you look at modern day or contemporary adventure games and RPGs, pretty much everything is given to you on a silver platter. What I mean by that is when you explore, everything appears in front of you. You know, you have your compass on top of you that's like a sixth sense, like a magical sense that detects, you know, all the caves and all the cool stuff around you and the towers and this and whatnot. It just appears magically, and you have your map, and you have your mini map, and you have your quest markers, and you have your objective markers, and you can drop your own markers, and you have your quest journals, and it just never ends. And if you think about it, what happens with that is that you're not truly exploring. You're just kind of like flying by wire, and when you find something, it's not really your discovery. It was kind of...
That is true. Make a valid point. When I play these games with a little map, I do just go like, well, look at what I found. And like I kind of get on. I don't really stop and walk around. I just go to the mission, the side mission, or whatever it may be, and I might stumble across like a new weapon or maybe something else, like a key to like a place from a couple levels ago. Rather than that, yeah, most people don't look. Like, you got to really be into the game and really like the game to sit there, look at it, and then go back. See, I'm not a look back type nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't do that. Very ain't trying to really look. I'm a forward type guy, but he got a point. You should, but see, open world games for me, I love them. I really do. I just don't have the patience for them. Like, they be so long.
...to you.
That's why
it's
taking like 5 years to make.
So what you're looking at now is we're having a discussion with a bloke named Ernest Cadell. He's telling us certain information, and then he tells us it's quite far. You need to hitch a ride. You might find people that are willing to give you a ride. It's up to the north of my house, so you're gonna have to use your compass, but your real compass, right, with the coordinates on it, north, south, east, west, blah, 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 and follow that.
You gotta
so
have
the
a weapon, right?
environments, the visuals of the game are not just there to illustrate, they're there to communicate. So
excuse me. I hope bro got a weapon. If bro don't got a weapon, already starting off to be hot. You gotta at least have a handgun. And I hope it's one of them games like they give you more than 8 bullets, because you was in the army and you left. I'm assuming you got at least a couple clips with you. You feel me? But I could be wrong.
To play the game,
you want to make it hard every time.
You need to open your ears to what NPCs tell you, and you'll find your way, and you'll discover things, and you will truly own your discoveries and the great joy that comes with that.
Man, you about to find something else? It just made a game called Finders. See how much stuff you can find. It'd be cool if they can make a pirate game.
So
like
here's
this.
another scene or another section that could be considered part of our player plattering philosophy. So here's a puzzle, and there's obviously a solution to the puzzle, but nothing eventually is going to tell you, you know, if the player ends up kind of like taking a bit of time to find a solution. There's not going to be any artificial kind of ways that are going to help him or tell him what to do. Remy's not going to start talking.
He lying, y'all. He lying. It is always a way to find out. It's called YouTube videos. What you mean? After like 5 minutes, but it's a wrap. It's done. YouTube time. Nigga, fuck what you talking about? Get on right on YouTube. I'm going to find all the information I want. So therefore, you're lying to me. Whatever I need to find for real and I can't find, YouTube. Have you ever seen people play 2K? They put the little, but this the best build. People go crazy and it still be garbage. And it still be trash.
Or i.e. talking.
They getting them views though. It falls for it every time.
It's really up to you to figure them out. And in the way that the player plattering is inserted in this, we have a good example here with your trusted drone named Cappy. By the way, you can tell now that Remy has his poncho and he has his sword and he has his drone.
Find everything.
So it's after he's acquired them, right? Because at the beginning of the game, you saw he was not dressed like that. Now there's a reason why he ends up dressed like this. There's a reason why he needs these things, this equipment, but we don't need to get into these details today. So anyway, there's an ancient language in the country, and you kind of find it throughout the game. And the drone has a software, one of his many softwares, and this specific one can translate the ancient language. So this puzzle, the way that it works, you need to kind of like explore and observe your environment around this specific puzzle in order to find the clues on how to solve it. You need the drone, your trusty Cappy, his name is Cappy, also there's something behind that of course, and you translate those old texts. It gives you little passages of a poem or a psalm or something like that, and through what they tell you and the order in which they seem to have to be pieced back together, you find your clues on what this puzzle does and how to solve it. So again, the players are kind of like just led to their own devices, but things are there, the answers are there, and you have to explore. And again, I repeat it, you have to open your eyes and open your ears, and you'll figure it out.
Well, go to YouTube and figure it out. It's basically in the future. It gotta be in the future. Then again, it can't.
So by now,
old
you've
ass
seen a lot
house.
of what I guess is like exploration and looking around and talking to people and doing puzzles and all that kind of sweet stuff. But if you've seen the trailer, you of course notice that there's another big aspect to the game, which is third-person melee combat. So we like to say that the game is 50% exploration and 50% combat. The game is not at all only about combat, and it's definitely not at all just walking around and figuring stuff out. It's the combination of both, and we also think that the way that we've combined them is quite refreshing and quite unique in Hell Is Us. So, like I said, combat is an integral part of the game. I do want to emphasize now that we're not a Souls-like game. The game is a lot more mid-core. It's have fun, get in it, and hack and slash. It doesn't mean it's easy. It's not overly hard. There's a learning curve. There's subtleties. There's little things that we've invented just for the...
I like that what he said. It's fun. That's what you want in any game. You want to have fun. Some people play games for the challenge. Some people play games for the fun. Some people do both. You feel me? And the people that do both is really good at playing just the game. Like, they're just really just good at the game. But I like the fact, first of all, let's get into that melee weapon. I like that melee weapon. I like how it looks. The villain, the bad guy, I'm not, whatever you want to call him. It looks pretty cool, kind of freaky. He a freaky dicky type nigga. But it's cool though. You gonna put that work in, no diddy. And you gonna, get him out the way. But for the most part, I'm digging it,
Flair and flavor of Hell Is Us. It's very crunchy. I think the friction is pretty good.
I hope
you'll enjoy it. So there's a wide variety of enemies in the game. So we have kind of like the more common enemy type, which we call the Hollow Walker. So it's these kind of humanoid, bipedal, white enemies that you can see here with the holes in their faces and their chests and whatnot. So obviously there's a reason why they're called Hollow Walkers, and there's different types of them, and different kind of tiers of strength and powers. But when you're facing pretty much the biggest threats in the game, it's what we call like a dual entity. So it's like a Hollow Walker has a haze inside of it. So it's when the haze is present. I'm not going to get into the details right away of what the haze represents. It's all part of the lore and what you will figure out in the game. But when you're facing a combo like these dual entities, and it can go to like 3 of them, 4 of them, there's the herders, there's the fervents, and different types like that. But that's when you really need to master the combat system. That's when you start having to use all the tools and techniques at your disposal. The drone has tons of skills to upgrade it, and the drone is very much your little sidekick to help you in fighting multiple enemies at a time. He's not a sidekick in the sense where he talks and he has an AI. He's very much a drone that has its own protocol to do this crowd management during the combat. So you have different weapons. You have your limbic skills, attack to weapons, which is basically you consider as your magic, even though in the game it's not considered magic. There's kind of like a scientific base to them. But that's when you really need to master all the little subtleties of the combat system, use all the tools in your arsenal and at your disposition, and get in the melee with these kind of dual or triple or quadruple entities and being able to manage them and be victorious. So like I mentioned, here specifically, you can see a combat against a limbic entity that has multiple hazes attached to the Hollow Walker. That's when it gets really complex, it gets very overwhelming because you're alone, but you got your trusty little Cappy. So you need to use its skill. So for example, Cappy has a skill where you can distract an entity, either a haze or a Hollow Walker. You can use the forward charge, which is one of my favorite. You also have the Typhoon. You have the super dash skill, which is another one of my favorites. You can start dashing.
As long as y'all seen it, it's cool. I'll go back later to look at it.
Forward, backwards, really, really fast. It gives you like this Japanese action game style. And then you also have your limbic skill, so you need to find the glyphs in the game and you need to attach them to your weapons. And this is when you start getting powers that come from these weapons that allow you to take care of these enemies in much more powerful and kind of like impressive ways. That's when the VFX and the sound effects all come together and give you this combat bang that we all like and love. Okay, so now let's take a little pause from the combat and let's go back to...
I'm gonna be honest with you. Starting off looking at the game and getting to the point where it's fighting, it's almost like I've seen 2 different games. Because the way he started off like a... I ain't gonna say the word. Like he had no money. It threw me off. I'm like, what? And then I seen him, hold on, but this is almost a different game from this game you just showed me in the beginning.
And the exploration. So, like I said, there's no silver plattering. There's none of these kind of like fly-by-wire. It's up to you to figure out what your kicker is. What I mean by kicker is what you're supposed to achieve at this specific moment, what you're actually looking for, where to look for it, and how to look for it, right? Remy and the players are at a ratio of information which is 1-1.
It's in Akasa Marshes. It's quite a ways from here.
So one of the tools that we're providing you to still kind of help you a bit and manage this 1-1 kind of like knowledge ratio is your data pad. Think of it as a bit your investigation wall, if you want, but in a digital 90s format. So your clues, your leads, the important people that are related to your investigation, trying to find your parents, and a lot more eventually, are all stored here. They're linked together by the relationships, and now it's up to you to go and investigate about them. So as you can see here, some of the areas can be quite wide opened. This one here called the Casa Marshes is one of the bigger ones. And as I spoke quite a bit already, the game doesn't hold your hand or doesn't really tell you where to go. So out of your main leads or clues or ideas that you have in your head of what you're supposed to do or where you're supposed to go at any given moment, you will also be attracted by a lot of points of interest or just little things in the environment that pique your curiosity.
And this is where, when they do games like this, I get tired of playing. Like, when I play Dragon Dogma, it had a map and it showed you, but like, bro, you'd be like, bro, you get stopped by every pond, you get stopped by, you'd be like, bro, you know what? Turn the game off, y'all won. Y'all beat me and I ain't even do nothing. I had to fight the dragon too. The dragon really, like, I was like, you know what, bro? I'm not fighting this dragon. Like, damn him. Like,
things that you cannot solve right away, or things that you might think that there is a thing to be done with it when there's none, and it's all part of the fun stuff and the kind of like experience that we're providing in the game. So as you can see here, there's a tree.
They wanted to show off what they did. They want to show their talent. I think what we did.
Civil war between two different ethnicities in the countries that are still basically the exact same people. And you found this tree. It's actually not part of the Golden Path or not part of something tremendously important in the game, but there's still something around it. There's still something to be found, and it's probably linked to more stuff that you can do in relation to it.
And I'm trying to see,
you have to do your own exploration to find it, and even more of your own exploration and investigation to figure out what it's linked to and what you can do.
If I can find the original video.
So here we are in a dungeon in the game. So yes, the game has dungeons. This was really important to us. Like I said at the beginning, there's a bit of a love letter to games from the 90s. But one of the challenges was the game takes place in a contemporary setting. The game takes place in 1993. And yet we still wanted dungeons in the game, and I didn't want the dungeons to take place in an abandoned metro station or, you know, in an abandoned factory because it's the modern era. I still wanted the dungeons to be very ancient things. And this brings us to another really important aspect of the game, or one of the very important themes of the game, which is history, historicity, deep history. So history that goes even before history. So there's a lot of mysteries and a lot of lore and the origin of what's going on in the country and the link to the Civil War.
And that's the fun part about like making a book or writing a game or doing anything creative. Like,
I won't get into too
you
much
can do whatever you want, and it's gonna almost make sense because it's your story. Like, it's gonna always make sense because it's your story.
And moods and atmospheres that we have in the
game.
And
this is why it's so fun.
Is something quite interesting, unique.
And you know, as fun as this game, like, you know what, this game might be actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. The more I'm watching it, see the beginning, I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't messing with it. In that beginning, I was not. I was like, nah, I'm cool.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for being with us.
He had no swag.
I hope you enjoyed it.
I couldn't
I'm
do it.
extremely
But
grateful to have you guys following us.
Yeah,
the team as well. So
looks
just
pretty
to
cool.
repeat, the game Hell Is Us will be released in 2025 as box series, PlayStation 5, and PC. And there's a lot more coming soon about the game. This is just the beginning. We'll explain other aspects of it and get into sometimes a bit of the minutia.
Man, they
so
trying.
stay
They
tuned
trying.
and speak to you soon. Thank you.
I'm gonna look at that trailer. Nah, but bro, I ain't gonna lie. That poncho remind me of Star Wars, bro. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they got a little bit of that in there. Now that could be wrong. Yes, I found.
I don't remember
the original.
when it
came out
happened.
5 days ago. The trailer, like, holy shit.
I remember how I felt.
This is
Father
the
told
main
us to
trailer. I
hide
just wanted to
when
see what
we
it
came
looked
to our
like.
house.
Before I wrap this video up. My goal
they
wasn't to
took
make a
him
20-minute
away.
video, but I made a 20-minute video.
Mother said I couldn't
mean-
play outside anymore. Everyone had fled. She said the country was sick. But we would be
Is that
okay.
a dog? Oh, yeah. Oh.
Mother
Okay.
always said monsters
It's like they're
didn't
mixing
exist.
like magic with modern day
thought they lived under my
stuff
bed.
with like advanced technology.
both wrong.
But the freaky guys, right? This is a freaky nigga. The freaky nigga don't got no nothing. He's just freaky as hell. Look at this. I'm about to do a ditty.
Inside our heads.
Boom. Oh damn. I'm kind of happy I clicked on the trailer. I didn't know you can do that. Yeah, I'm already invested. Nah, I ain't gonna lie. This look hard. This look hard. I wasn't really messing with it before. Like at the beginning, he had no swag. I couldn't do it. I'm over here. I couldn't have been pausing the whole time. Look at that. This is all freaks. This is all at a freak off. He had a straight freak off. But like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? The game's gonna be a classic. I can tell. These freaky dicky niggas is crazy. Yeah, like I'm a freak. That's damn. Can't believe you called me. You can't believe you called me. Hold up. Yeah, that's what he's saying. So no guns, huh? I'm messing with it. I feel like they took a little bit from Star Wars, but I'm messing with it. Y'all definitely gotta be on the lookout for that game. That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be fun. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I think it will be an all-time classic. I think they'll end up making a number 2 somehow. I promise you, and I think number 2 ain't gonna be as good as number 1. People, number 1 games are like the first game. The first one's always the best one. They're definitely gonna make a number 2. I promise you, they're gonna make a lot of money. It's gonna be one of them games just out of nowhere, just blow up. I got a good feeling about this game. I really do, y'all. I really got a good feeling, and I don't know, man. It's a lot of games I'm already playing and buying. Like I get my reviews on games, so. I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna get this one because it's like a long process, but if I do, I'll probably play like every Saturday or something like that to really wrap it up and make sure I can then get my review while I'm doing the other games, because I'm a busy guy, so I gotta make sure I spread my time wisely, you know what I'm saying? You know, so that was a good trailer. I ain't gonna lie, I wasn't looking for it, but I found it. Thank God I did. I found it when I was getting my tacos. I was like, what videos I'm gonna do today? Getting my tacos. I'm gonna eat my tacos. And I wanted to get something else from there. Tell me we don't do breakfast no more from Taco Bell. I'm like, y'all crazy. It's probably the best thing I had for real. Like y'all crazy. No, I ain't gonna lie, I'm tacos be hitting. I know some people are like, oh my God, the tacos from Taco Bell. Like, yeah, it be hitting. Like, don't act like it don't. You know what I'm saying? And is it healthy? No. If I'm gonna eat it, yes. I'm eating it every time. Like it's mine. It's like, hold on, time out. So yeah, that was a good video. I enjoyed both trailers. Even the dude talking, even though I kind of zoned out while I was eating. He made some solid points. I didn't like the beginning of the game. It really threw me off. But it started showing more and more. I started liking it. The graphics was amazing, obviously, like it always is, and the fighting was pretty cool. It was different. They mixed a little bit of everything from modern day to magic to future stuff, which threw me off. Then they added the freaks, the real freak offs in there. Had a couple of freaky dicky niggas in there. Cheers to them. You know what I'm saying? You gotta put them in a body bag and do what you gotta do. So yeah, man, all in all, it was a great video. You know what I'm saying? I liked it. I enjoyed it. Hope y'all enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Your boy is about to be out because it's about that time. I gotta edit up this video. But I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. On the next video, on the next day. It's out. Hold on, time out. I'm out, baby. Gone like magic.